be the case, then this dialogue we are holding today becomes irrelevant. Therefore, we should also attempt to look at the alternative scenario in terms of the impact of postponing elections will have in politics. If these elections were not to hold, what will be the next line of action in terms of ensuring peace and stability? Will the suggestion of postponing elections not introduce another set of problems? Although some people have suggested an interim government or government of national unity, who will lead such a government, and what will be the nature of its composition? While I do not expect Nigeria to be an instant winner with just the 2015 elections, the elections will certainly lay a strong foundation for ultimate victory if they are violent, free, and perceived to be free, fair, and credible. This goal can be achieved through the combination of efforts by INEC, security agencies, political parties, the media, and voters themselves. First, INEC must not only be neutral, but must be seen to be neutral by truth and truth by ensuring that no contestant is sustained, that there is a level playing field for all parties, so that no party is disadvantaged, that the electoral rules are fully adhered to and enforced, while violators are sanctioned accordingly, that adequate logistics arrangements are made to ensure that election materials are delivered accordingly, in addition to strict adherence to timings and programs. And any attempt by any participant, either as individuals or parties, to rig the elections should be rejected. A situation in which the people believe that elections are not free and fair, governance becomes difficult, if not impossible, due to the fact that political leadership who fail to be recognized by those who feel betrayed, as such, will continue to struggle for legitimacy until next election. There will be no governance. This is even more serious when complaints are not addressed or resolved either politically or legally. Second, security agencies have tremendous role to play in support of INEC by ensuring that they not only provide adequate security during elections, but that they must remain neutral. They must remain neutral. I think not only that, security agencies must, as a matter of fact, of necessity, stick to their constitutional role to ensure that law and order are maintained. But they must they must not allow themselves to be used to intimidate other voters. That the role of political parties in driving the campaign in orderly and peaceful manner is very significant in the success of election process. Where national interests are threatened, for example, parties must put aside their differences and work together towards protecting such interests against violation. Parties must stick to the rules of the game and avoid mudslinging and forecasting aspersions against political opponents. It is equally important for political parties to maintain focus and avoid statements that will overheat the body. Fourth, the media, both electronic and print, is very critical and vital institution in this project. As a public agenda setter, a gatekeeper on public issues, a watchdog of political transparency and fight against corruption, and a fourth estate which provides the needed checks and balances in relation to the three branches of government. The media has a crucial role to play in national development. However, to succeed in their role, the media must be professional and objective. Therefore, must avoid bias, sensationalism, propaganda, and distortion. Imagine the advert by the governor of the parish. Particularly in a society like ours with many fault lines. For 2015 elections, the media must lead civil society in ensuring that elections are free, fair, and credible in the overall interest of this country. This is our country. All of us must stick together and work towards, ensuring that there is peace and stability. If there is no peace and stability, you cannot be here. You cannot, no matter how rich you are, no matter how educated you are, we must be aware of that. Now, Nigeria will win if the voters themselves vote freely to elect credible people, not on the basis of religious ethnicity or military inducements. voters must not engage in any act of violence or brigandage that could lead to the destruction of lives and properties. Machetes, knives, daggers are not the weapons of voters. Rather, the most potent weapon voter has is his or her vote, which he or she must use wisely to vote for the candidate of his or her choice. Post-2015 elections, Nigeria cannot be the winner if current insecurity environment is sustained, particularly the threats posed by terrorism and insurgency of Boko Haram in the north. Every day we live with the hope that the insurgency in the northeast will end using multidimensional approach, so that the future will not experience such threats that have had devastating effects on our lives. How can Nigeria be the winner when the vast majority of people live in perpetual fear? Freedom from fear is not only fundamental right in human security, but it also complements the freedom from harm. Unfortunately, both freedoms are under serious threats. Educational institutions, markets, worship centers, and motor parks that are the major areas in which the bulk of our daily activities of Nigerians are concentrated have become main targets of terrorist attacks. Such attacks cripple the educational system, immobilize the movement of people, deny people the means of sustaining their lives, deny them their fundamental right to practice their faith, and above all, deny people the right to seek decent living. The insurgency has taken away their food, housing, education, and healthcare. In the southeast and south-south, people cannot move freely due to the fear of kidnappers and violent politics. In the southwest, ritual killers are lurking around for unsuspecting victims, especially women and children. How can Nigeria be the winner if the people residing in our territory are experiencing such hurtful disruptions of their daily lives? According to the first UN Human Development Report, human security involves a process of widening the range of people's choices, in which people can exercise these choices safely and freely, and that they can relatively be confident that opportunities they have today are not lost tomorrow. How can Nigeria be the winner if the choices of the people residing in our territory are narrowed instead of widening? Beginning 1999, it is now 15 years of democracy in Nigeria, but we are yet to consolidate it. We have already discussed the first step towards consolidating democracy, that is free, fair, and credible elections. Next is the issue of good governance, manifested in clear observance of democratic themes embedded in adherence to the rule of law, respect for human rights, accountability, transparency, inclusiveness, and popular participation. Next is the strengthening of democratic institutions and ensuring that there are adequate arrangements for checks and balances among the executive, legislative, and judiciary. Although there have been major challenges in the last 15 years, the Fourth Republic has been the longest so far in Nigeria's democratic experiment. Is there any possibility that the 2015 elections will usher in part of the consolidation of democracy in Nigeria? Yes, there is. But this is only possible when the right people are elected, people who are competent and of high integrity, people who are focused and selfless, people who are courageous and loyal, people who respect human rights and appreciate the rule of law, people who will be transparent and are ready to be held accountable, people who understand the essence of human security, people who are ready to once more make Nigeria the giant of Africa, people who appreciate that without peace and security, there will be no development. And above all, people who believe in Nigeria as a united, indivisible country. These are the kind of people that will guarantee Nigeria's economic, political, and social stability to put her on the path of sustained growth and development. I have attempted to suggest a path to follow in order to make Nigeria the winner at the 2015 elections. While this may not be the only path, I believe following what I have provided for this dialogue will go a long way in ensuring that we at least achieve very reasonable level of peace and stability. I do hope my points will encourage or provoke enough discussions in this area. Thank you very much.